Welcome to the Home Inspector Marketing Podcast. Because you're a home inspector looking to increase your sales, improve your cash flow, and boost your bottom line, you are in the right place. For additional training resources on how you can grow your home inspection business, go to microreturns.com right now. And now, here's the podcast.
Hi, this is Mike Crow, and I run a home inspection business. In fact, I've run a couple of home inspection businesses. The true joy for me, though, has been helping literally thousands of home inspectors build really solid home inspection businesses as well. We can help a single-man operation be able to do over $300,000 a year, maybe all the way up to $400,000 a year as a single inspector operation. Even better for me is the 80-plus companies that we have helped be able to build million-dollar home inspection businesses. I would like to help you be able to do the same thing.
We were going through our archive last week, and we came across a teleclass Mike had in the past on goal setting. It was such great information we had to share it with you. So for the next few episodes, we'll be going through it. Mike does mention a worksheet in this episode, and if you head to the show notes, you can download it and follow along. Enjoy.
This class is designed to help you basically outline your plans, and this is going to be an intensive call. I had one person recently come up to me and said, Mike, you need to talk a little slower and just be a little more patient with everybody. And the truth is, I would like to do that. On the other hand, I know a couple of things. One is your brain works faster than I can talk for the most part. And I want to make sure I can give you as much information as I can in the small amount of time that we're going to be together. This call is incredibly important. This call was taken from two different calls that I do with my members and helping them set up their goals. And I've been helping my coaching members do that for a number of years. So this information has helped a lot of others succeed. I'm hoping that you can take it and put it to good use as well, because I've had a lot of people ask me what they need to do to get ready. In fact, I had not planned on doing this teleclass until I'd had several requests and several questions about how to get the new year off to a great start. All right, so let me just get started here with something. I find that a little bit of humor goes a long way. So let's try this. Imagine that, as I get closer to 50, one of the things I've heard is that men start losing their muscle mass. And so one of my New Year's resolutions was including working out just a little bit differently than I have in the past. So what I did was I came across this thing called the potato sack workout. And so imagine, you're standing up and you're holding both arms straight out to your side, kind of look like a T there. In each hand, I'm holding a potato sack. Now, for the first week, I held 5-pound potato sacks, okay? And then I moved up to 10-pound potato sacks. And then I moved up to 25-pound potato sacks. You can imagine this can be quite strenuous, okay? And then I moved up to even, quite honestly, 25-pound potato sacks. I began to think, maybe next week what I should consider doing is actually putting potatoes in the potato sack. Now, some of you are having a good laugh, and some of you are telling me I should stick to my day job, and that's okay. One of the things I find is that as I'm working out there with people and some different things, a little sense of humor can go a long ways, and just need to kind of keep that in mind. And one of the things I, from time to time, do is just try to give our members a joke that they can use with some of the people out there as they're setting goals. All right, so let's get down to business. It's a new year, and last year was interesting to say the least. With all the problems that people want to talk about, okay? But let's focus on where we want to go this year. One of the things that business owners realize is that they know that going into business, it is not a sure thing. And you know what? Congratulations. You have embraced that most people are not willing to take a look at. In fact, some people try to live their life so that they arrive at death as safely as possible. Now, these people are the average person out there, and they will never enjoy the benefits that come with running your own business. You will, and so congratulations for being willing to do that. But let's help you get there by giving you maybe a little faster, by giving you maybe a more obvious path. Now, hopefully you have a piece of paper, and if you have the two sheets printed off, those two sheets should help you in a couple different directions. Mark these sheets up as we're going so that we can take a look at some of the things. One of the things that we have here at the bottom of the second sheet, and it says action steps at the top, and down at the bottom it says LEAP, L-E-A-P. So what I want to do is take you through this and use this as an acronym to help show you a couple of things that you may need to consider to making sure that you're as successful as possible. So the L, let's write the word leave out there, as if you were leaving the house, okay? Leave. Because what you need to do is make sure you leave behind preconceived ideas. You know, so many inspectors think they know something about marketing their business. I hear this all the time. And if you've been with us for a year or more, you probably do know something about marketing. And the truth is, you probably know more than 99% about marketing compared to your competition. I will tell you, I am constantly told by people that join us, though, that they understand marketing and that they're good at it. And in less than a month, they realize really how quickly their knowledge of marketing isn't or hasn't been complete. And so we want to make sure we can give you some of that. Now, I've been told on countless occasions that they've learned more than they thought possible. And I hear this from veterans in our industry that are part of franchises. I hear this from people that have been successful on their own and grown their own business to maybe even 3 and 6 inspectors. And I have to admit, the ones that I feel sorry for are those that got stuck somewhere along the line. You know, one such inspector in a rural area, by the way, he had been in the inspection business for 3 years, and he tried to market his business, and he just was getting ready to shut the business down as he was only being marginally successful. And then he became one of our members, and he learned how to focus on and how to make some good marketing systems in place so he could implement even more. Last year, by the way, he grew his business 400%, whereas most inspectors, of course, are all complaining about how bad their business was. Now, just give you some real numbers, he went from 50 inspections a year to about 250 inspections a year. Now, that may not seem like a lot if you were already doing 250, but let me tell you, when you do 50 for 3 years in a row, first off, congratulations for him for hanging in there, but even more so, congratulations for him getting past some of his preconceived ideas and moving forward. You know, one of the things we've done is we've even taken some brand new inspectors who haven't done any inspections and helped them get their business up and running quicker than they thought possible. And the reason these inspectors were successful was because they were willing to leave behind preconceived ideas and get rid of what was not working and put into place some systems that we teach. And so that's one of the big things you need to make sure here. And even then, you need to make sure you don't get locked down into a comfort zone. You need to always be building on what you know and willing to do to take your marketing to the next level. To do this, you want to be open to new ideas and to not simply push them aside because you don't understand them. So now X to E out there, write the word expect. You know, you've got to expect things to work when you're putting systems in place. You know, just like a skydiver expects the parachute to open when they jump from a plane, you need to be willing to step out and willing to put yourself on the line a little. You need to be willing to call on new people, build relationships deeper than ever before. In fact, you've got to expect excellent results from your marketing efforts. In fact, let's just take a moment here. You know, I tell a story on one of my regular calls. I'll share here with you for just a second. When our members start learning how to do certain things, one of the many things that we teach them is how to be able to go after and set up presentations at real estate offices. And I know that a lot of people are saying, oh, I can't get presentations set up at real estate offices. And I will tell you, my members are setting up presentations every single day. Now, I want you to imagine this. You walk into a real estate office, and there's 30, 40 agents there, and the office manager gets up and she tells everybody, you know, I wanted to invite this gentleman today because he really understands the home inspection industry, and he understands what we're up against as he's even out there and he's inspecting. Now, I want you to really listen to what he's got to say because he's going to teach you some things that are going to help you be able to close more sales and move your business forward as well. You get up there, you talk, and you can see them really getting the message. They're shaking their head, yes, and it's quite an experience knowing that they're hanging on every word that you're saying. And then what you need to understand also above and beyond that is as you finish, one agent raises her hand and she says, by the way, Mike, for instance, she would say, Mike, can I tell everybody a little bit about your company? Well, why would I decline on that? She said, guys, I just want you to know that when I work with any company, any buyer, I always try to make sure that they work with Mike's company. And here's the reason why. And by the time she's done, she makes it sound like I walk on water. You need to make sure that when you do the right kind of presentations, when you have that opportunity, that you make the absolute benefit of it. One of the things we do for our members is we even have what I call a white sheet on maximizing presentations, and you need to make sure you're maximizing those in each and every way. The problem with most inspectors is that they want to go in and they want to talk all about themselves. That's a huge mistake, and you don't want to do that. And by the way, by the time you're leaving, Other agents are coming up and asking for your card, and the office manager will likely come over and say, is it possible that we could get you to come back out and speak again in about 3 months or so? Now, some of you, that may sound like fantasy, but let me tell you, it's true, and I make it happen over and over and over again. And obviously, it's not enough to wish it all by itself, but don't discount, how important your mental outlook is on some of this thing. So you have to expect things to work once you start putting them in place. All right, let's take a look at A. A could stand for attempt, or it could stand for action, whichever word you want. One of the things I find that's so interesting is you've got to stop standing on the sidelines. And you know what? I heard so many inspectors at the inspection world and other places I've visited in the last several months talking about what they don't do in their business. You have to quit defining your business by what you don't do. You have to take action. You have to step forward. You have to get noticed. And you know what the great thing about this is? Most of your competition is afraid to do this, but you cannot be afraid to do this. Some say that they're willing to embrace risk, but they're waiting for the right opportunity to come along. Well, folks, it just doesn't work that way. And it's one of the things I want to make sure that you know. One of the things that I found as I became a successful home inspector was that a lot of my competition was copying my marketing left and right. In fact, even on this call tonight, because I know some of the people signed up, they are competitors with a local company that I'm helping here. You know what? That's okay. I expect that. And, it's just going to happen that way. But, you just can't allow that to stop you from doing what you need to do. All right. So the next letter here is P. You know what I'm going to ask you to write out there next to that one is perhaps. Even the farmer knows that planting a crop is not a guarantee that it will have a great harvest. But perhaps you will have a great harvest if you're willing to embrace the risk. So you're actually in even a better situation than the farmer because you have more control than they do. However, you still have to be willing to plant the crop or you too will not have a chance of having a great harvest. All righty. So L.E.A.P, we talked about lead, we talked about expect, we talked about action or attempt, and we talked about perhaps. Now let's talk a little bit